Hey y'all, it's David with Beagles on Fire, and we're in this series on dogs, types of dogs, what we can learn from dogs, talking about beagles, of course, all the different types of words and descriptions we use to describe different types of dogs, of beagles, what we call. And I'm going to talk tonight about the one that is the most sought after, the most used word to describe a dog when someone's trying to sell it, and the most overused word, in my opinion, and the most, I guess you'd say, in my opinion, it's kind of a joke what people use at times that they call this dog. We're going to talk about the jump dogs. So, you think about jump dogs, immediately the first thing I think of is that's not a word I use much to describe my dogs because it is so overused. I've laughed and teased about the fact that, look, there's a jump dog. Did you see it jump off a tailgate? Did you see it jump up on my britches leg? That's a jump dog. Because it is so used by so many dog jockeys and dog traders. I mean, every single time they sell a dog, this is the best jump dog I've ever owned in my life. And they throw that word jump dog, jump dog, jump dog. It's so overused. And you say, well, David, what is a jump dog? Well, a jump dog is one that jumps rabbits, but what most people describe as a jump dog is one that this is what you'll typically hear. I'm looking for that straight up, super duper, I mean 100% jump dog. I want it to jump 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10 rabbits. I got to have a jump dog. And so when someone asks me that, I always ask them this question, well, are you having trouble jumping any rabbits now? Are you jumping rabbits? And it's kind of funny because if you're not jumping any rabbits, you're not running any at all. So, they may be like, well, yeah, but just not as many as I want to. And I get it and I understand what they're trying to say. But this is the way I describe a jump dog. If you've got a dog that's jumping all your rabbits, 9 out of 10 rabbits, in my opinion, you need to look at the rest of your pack. Not to take anything away from that dog that's jumping 9 out of 10 of your rabbits. That's a good dog, obviously. But I equate it to this, okay? When I was growing up playing baseball, and I played T-ball, coach pitch, man, I was a jump dog. I'd smack that ball like there was no tomorrow. I'd stand out. I turned a double play. One of the first games I ever played when I was in the first grade, I turned a double play. I was playing first base, caught a pop fly, went over and tagged the bag. Well, everybody thought, well, he's so smart. He already at that age knew to do that automatically. Well, it wasn't that. Somebody had told me that even though you catch it, you still got to tag the bag. You got to go tag the bag. And I thought, well, that's not the way my dad taught me baseball's played. But okay, whatever, maybe this is different here. So I just did it. I looked so smart. And to be honest, I didn't even know I'd done a double play. But people, I tell you that story to tell you this. I was a jump dog, stand out on a T-ball team. As I grew up playing Little League, I was a jump dog on most every team that I played on, especially on defense, and would make all-star teams with no problem. I'm not telling you all this to brag on myself. I'm just telling you the story. Just hear me out. When I went to junior high, I was a jump dog. When I got to high school, I was one of a few jump dogs. There may have been 2 or 3 or 4 jump dogs on the team, so to speak, the ones that kind of stood out. And then I went to a very, very small college for 1 year as a freshman. And I made backup all conference at a very, very small school. But I was not a jump dog there. I was just a pack dog, so to speak. Just your average everyday ball player. Now, what happened from T-ball? Did I forget how to play ball? No. The competition got a whole lot harder. And my whole point in saying that is if you've got a dog that's jumping 9 out of 10 rabbits, maybe you need to get rid of some of the other ones and get some more like that one that's jumping 9 out of 10. Because if you've got the right kind of dogs that will search and hunt and jump, your jumps will probably be scattered. I'd rather have, if I'm running a pack of 8, I'd rather have this one jump 2, this one jump 3, this one jump 2, this one jump 1. I'd rather it be spread out. It's kind of like when you play basketball. If you've got one jump dog on a team, that's their go-to guy. He's the only one that can really shoot and score. Well, you can shut him down real easy. You just put 2 guys on him. But the team that's hard to beat is that team that, man, this guy over here is averaging 15 points a game. This guy's averaging 15. They got a guy that averages 20, another guy that averages 12. They've got a very balanced team. And when you've got a very balanced pack of dogs that can search and hunt, and you're not filling it up with one jump dog and some other Me Too dogs or pack dogs, you're going to have a very balanced pack that's going to go out and be more successful, because you got more of them knowing what they're doing. But let's concentrate on this jump dog just a minute. You know, a jump dog, there's questions out there. Well, can you train one to be a jump dog? Now, everybody's got an opinion about everything, right? So my opinion is no. Most jump dogs are a couple of different things. Number one, it's somewhat luck involved. It's some natural born trait that they have. Now, your breeding can help with that, with jumping ability. If the sire and dam have jumping ability, good chance the puppies are going to have jumping ability. I personally don't want a dog that doesn't have some jumping ability. That may not be his best characteristic, but he needs to have some jumping ability. If he can't jump a rabbit, then I don't want him. So I don't have any dogs that I keep here that cannot jump a rabbit. Now you say, oh, so all yours are jump dogs. No, if a guy tells you every dog I've got's a jump dog, if he tells you he's got a jump dog for sale, you better perk up real close, because chances are that's not true. I'm not saying no one ever sells a jump dog or this or that, but nobody that's selling, unless they're selling out, is selling that dog that just dominates the jumps left and right. Now, I've sold some dogs to people before that they told me that's the best jump dog I've ever had in my life. It was not that type jump dog here. You know, if you you just go to the NBA or any other sport you want to, the guys sitting on the bench that you never hear of, they were jump dogs in high school. And they were probably jump dogs in college. It had to be to get an NBA contract. If they go to the NBA and the competition's real tough, some of them you never hear about. That don't mean they're not a good ball player. They're just in a whole lot bigger competition. So if you take a dog that's not jumping rabbits in your pack and put it in somebody else's pack, it's not jumping as many, it's not a standout, so to speak, just hunts hard, and goes there and it out hunts all the dogs that guy's got, it's going to probably be his jump dog. But, you know, just because a dog is hunting hard does not mean that's the one that's going to jump a lot, the majority of the rabbits. A jump dog just naturally has a tendency to know where to look. You know, I told you the other night about that first time I started out that I had a dog named Snowball. Now, Snowball was one of them dogs that you could just say her name and point, and she would go right where you pointed. I mean, right where you pointed. And she would go in there and jump a rabbit most of the time. Not in that exact spot necessarily, but she was going to jump a lot of rabbits. She was a jump dog for me back in the beginning. Now, if I put Snowball and could bring her back, she's deceased and long gone, but if I could bring her back with the type dogs I'm running now, I don't believe she would be the standout jump dog, because there's a lot harder hunting dogs that I have now that is spread out. You know, when I go out, it's not always the same dog that jumps a rabbit. It's very spread out. But I don't care that I don't have a dog that jumps 9 out of 10. I'm not having any problem jumping rabbits because I've got a very balanced pack. And I think that's where some guys go wrong in their desires to finally keep searching for this jump dog, because it's been shoved down our throat so much. You got to have a jump dog. I'm not belittling a jump dog, but I want a dog that'll hunt hard. If they'll hunt hard and get in the thicket, they're going to jump more rabbits than the ones that are walking the lanes. And so, you know, that's kind of just because a dog gets in there and hunts the thicket real hard, there might be one that doesn't hunt as hard but just knows where to look. Just naturally has a tendency to know exactly where to look, and just a natural one that just puts their nose in the right spot. Sometimes you've met people in life that, you're like, man, why are they always so successful? It just seems like whatever they touch just turns to gold. And others of us have to work real hard to get to where we are, and it just doesn't come as easy to us as it does to others. They're not outworking us, but they just out jump us, and that's just the way it is sometimes in life. But the Bible has a verse that really, when you hear this, you say, well, David, does God give a flip about rabbit hunting? Well, I'm going to take this verse, and I'm being a little bit facetious here and using a little humor, but I think God is into rabbit hunting, because He gives a command in Matthew 7:7-8. It says, "Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and you will find." You want a dog that will seek and find a rabbit. So if you don't know any other verse in the Bible to quote when you get out there with your dogs, just quote them this one. Hey, y'all get in there and seek, and you shall find. The rest of that verse says, "Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open." Now, that doesn't mean that if you want a new car tomorrow, just ask for it and God will provide it. We all know that. It doesn't work that way. But in life, if you want something, you got to go seek it and find it. And when I told you there's some dogs get out there and they hunt and they seek, they're just seeking, but they don't jump as many as the other one that just has a knack for putting their nose in the right spot and finding that rabbit. We've got a whole world full of people that are seeking, but they're looking in the wrong spot. If you're trying to find joy and happiness and you think it's going to be found in money, look at all the rich people that aren't happy. If you are out there thinking, oh, if I could just get a relationship with a woman and have this nice, wonderful girlfriend or wife, things would be great. Well, they might be for a little while, but that's not where all happiness is found. Well, if I just had the right vehicle, I want that new truck, the souped up, the 4-wheel drive, or if I just had that dog, man, if I had those dogs, if David would sell me that dog, he won't sell me, I'd be happy. No, that's not where you're going to find happiness. Joy and happiness is not found in the things of this world. Joy and happiness is found in God. And so if you'll seek the right things, then you'll find happiness. But like that dog's got to go in there. The problem we got is, there might be some things that we need, but they require some hard work. A dog that's going to jump a rabbit, every now and then there'll be a rabbit right on the edge. It'll be real easy to jump. But most of the time, where do you find them? In the thick briars, in the bottom of the brush piles, in the places that are hard to get to. And that dog that goes in there and scratches his ear up and wears his nose out, wears the hair out around his eyes, it comes out and his ears are bleeding and dripping and scratched up and all that because he's worked hard for it. He's the one that found a rabbit, not the one that's out there just lollygagging around, walking down Easy Street out in a lane that's cut. He's just sitting around. Remember, we talked about him. He's the Me Too dog. If you want anything in life, you got to get up and go seek it. So, a lot of people sit around, they're jealous of other people because they have things. Well, guess what? If they're working, they didn't just ask and receive it. They got out there and knocked on some doors. They knocked some doors open. Be persistent. Get out there and make something happen is what you got to do. So, what we got to be challenged to do is when you talk about a jump dog starts the race. Nothing's going on till that rabbit's jumped. If somebody doesn't run across that rabbit track, or he's cuddled up and snuggled up tight in his bed, if somebody doesn't go over there and make him move and jump him, this is real profound, y'all, there's not going to be a race. If somebody doesn't jump it, there's not going to be a race. Jump dogs are a lot like leaders. They make things happen. They get them up, they get them going. They open up, they say, here it is. And other people come in and join in. Other dogs join in and go and roll. And you know what? The jump dog is not always the best at running the track. It's not always the best check dog. but it's the one that jumped it and got it started. And, there are people who have the ability to start things, but they may not be the best at getting it to where it needs to go. They can get it started, but they can't quite get it the rest of the way where it wants to go. But that's okay if you're smart enough to surround yourself with people whose other specialties fall into place. If your job and your best trade is to get it started and bring some other people in that can help you see it through to organizing and making it happen. And when things don't, you get to a rabbit, when they jump it, dogs jump a rabbit, get out there and run it for a while, and then the rabbit pulls a stunt and they got a check. They go into a check where they're not running. Well, then the check dog comes in and gets the check. And they go on. And there's some track dogs that run the track real well. And there are some dogs that can do all of it and put it all together. But I've had a lot of dogs that have a lot of jumping ability. And I try to breed dogs that have a lot of jumping ability. And you say, well, why is that? Because like I said, if you don't jump it, you can't run it. And so the thing that I want to challenge you with life is this. If you don't jump up and do something to get your life going in the right direction, if you're not jumping up and trying to make things happen for people and trying to change the world and trying to make things a better place and starting by making yourself a better you. If you're sitting around waiting on it to happen, it's not going to happen. You've got to jump up. You've got to go out and seek. You've got to search. If you search for the truth, then you will find what you need. The Bible also says that Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. And so if you're looking for the way, you're looking for joy, and that's the way, and you're trying to find the truth and the light, you can find it there. I hope this has been beneficial to you. If you got any questions about anything, or want to talk further about jump dogs, or if you've got a jump dog you want to brag about or whatever, we talked about brag dogs the other day. And, if you've got a true jump dog, that's going to be a brag dog. I did try to go back and find some pictures of some of the dogs that I talked about, and I'm still searching to find some. The only picture I could find that I had right off the top of my, when I was going through my computer of Sandy, was a picture of me at the vet's office when I had to put her down and was carrying her around outside saying my goodbyes. And that just wasn't a memory that I wanted to put up there to remember her by. I want to remember her when she was rolling and going. But Sandy was definitely one that I would say not only was a brag dog, but also was one of my favorite dogs that would jump. And Georgia has been one that would jump, and I've got several that will jump a rabbit. But I'm telling you now, y'all, I do not have a dog. If I went up there and let you pick out of the kennel 8 dogs that we'd go run of my kennel, I'm not going to have a dog that's going to dominate 9 out of 10 and jump 9 out of 10 rabbits. And the reason for that is the competition. And so think about that. And if you're, here's another way to put that into perspective of life. If you look around the people that you're around and you're the one who's always getting things going and getting things started, or you're the one who's doing the right thing, jumping up, showing the right way and all that, and the others around you aren't, you need to bring some more friends in, maybe some more people in to help you, because you don't want to have to be the one to jump. You always want to try to jump and do the right thing, but it's always better if you have other people as well that can jump in there and help you. So, if we're a jump dog in life, we don't sit there and go, well, I hope nobody else jumps it. I want to. We welcome the help. Trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of times when I wish I had some help in a lot of the areas and things I'm trying to do. But the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to give it my best. And I believe that's what the Bible talks about. There's one more verse I want to talk about that's been a verse that's always meant a lot to me. And it says this: whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might. In other words, just jump in there and make it happen. So I'm challenging you to get in there. Whatever you're doing, do your best. Do your best and just jump it. And, a jump dog, when they jump it, they just run it. Whether anybody else runs with them or not, they're going to run. So that's what we've got to do. We've got to seek the right thing. We got to jump it up. We got to run it, whether anybody else is going with us or not. But I'm going to tell you something. When you make a lot of noise, there's going to be people that are going to follow you. And that speaks to leadership. So, whatever it is, whether it's with your kids, your wife, I know we talk about that a lot, whatever it is that you feel God is wanting you to do, to jump up and do, I challenge you to do it. I hope this has been beneficial. I thank y'all for watching these videos, and we will get back on it again next week and start talking. We've still got a few different dogs to talk about in this series, and I look forward to those as well. But go out and be a jump dog to something today.